Wait for it. Down she goes. Howdy folks, Leoso here. So this week's episode is all about sniping. Specifically, what it takes to be a good sniper. Now in my opinion, the sniper has 4 roles while he's in a squad. Number 1, he's the squad's eyes. Providing intel, telling where things are, that sort of deal. Next is area denial to the enemy. He's making one area of the map really dangerous to be in. Thirdly, it's long range support. They soften up the enemies from long range so your squad members can take them out easier. And the last thing, and most importantly, sniper protects their squad from enemy snipers. So, things we're going to cover in this episode is 1, fittings, 2, positioning, and then lastly, tactics. As we go through the video, make sure to keep the roles of a sniper in mind as we put together the fittings, the tactics, the positioning, just so you have a better idea of how to be a good sniper. Here we are in the marketplace to take a look at the primary thing when it comes to fitting your sniper fit, the sniper rifle itself. If you take a look around in the market, there are 3 types of snipers that you're going to be able to work with. First of all is a regular sniper rifle. This is your standard sniper rifle that you'd expect from any other shooter. High damage, but it has a medium damage when compared to the rest of the sniper rifles. The next one is the tactical sniper rifle. This has a higher rate of fire than the regular sniper rifle, but it's going to do significantly less damage per shot. Lastly, there's the charged sniper rifle. This sniper rifle is a little unique in that you can charge up shots so that you can fire low damage, high rate of fire shots or high damage, low rate of fire shots, depending on how long you hold the fire button down. The next point to talk about is the drop suit. Now, when being a sniper, you can really go with any drop suit. The difference is that each drop suit has different strengths and weaknesses. The light drop suit has the best scanning capabilities, so they're harder to sneak up on, and they also have the lowest signature rate size, so they're not going to appear as easily on an enemy's radar. The downside is that they also have the least amount of HP out of all the 3 types. The heavy drop suit, on the other hand, has the most HP of any of the suits. But the problem is their signature size is huge, and they have no equipment slots. Medium drop suits are kind of in the middle of the road. They have a medium amount of HP, and they also are going to have the highest amount of equipment slots, especially if you go Logi. Now in terms of actually fitting your drop suit, it's really up to personal preference, but there's a few modules and pieces of equipment that are worth noting. First is a signal dampener. This will make it harder for you to appear on an enemy's radar, which is always a good thing when you don't really want to be found as a sniper. Next one is damage mods. Doing more damage per shot makes you more efficient, which is a good thing. In terms of equipment, nanohives are important because if you stay alive long enough, you're going to run out of ammo. And next is the drop-up link. Odds are you're going to get shot, and it helps to be close to your spot when you respawn. The scanner is somewhat of a mixed bag because it's not going to be extremely useful to you since you're dealing with the long ranges and it won't show up on your radar, but it will be very useful for your squad, so it can be worth it to pack it along. Now, let's talk positioning. Finding a good position for a sniper is very, very important. There's a couple things that you can look for in order to find a good location to kind of set up shop. First of all, you want a high spot, somewhere that you're going to be able to see a lot of the map, and ideally there's going to be cover points around in this high location so that you can break enemy line of sight. One important thing to always keep in mind is that a high location is generally going to have some point of weakness. There's one direction that you're going to be exposed from. So it's very important to keep that in mind. Now next, this sniper spot should ideally be really far away from the battle. Not so far that you're dealing with rendering issues and aiming it becomes a problem, but far enough that you won't be easily snuck up upon by some random red berry. I mentioned this briefly before, but the next point is to make sure that this place has some way to break the line of sight of the enemy. Essentially, maybe if you're on the top of a hill, you back up on the hill so that the enemy can't see you anymore, or there's a big crate that you can hide behind. You want some sort of cover. One last thing worth mentioning is that every spot, no matter how good it is going to be vulnerable from some direction. So it's very important to be aware of other enemy movements, and watch your radar so you don't get snuck up on and then get shot in the back of the head. I mean, frankly, that's just embarrassing. Okay, now for the last bit, tactics. Now, with anything in Dust, it's difficult to come up with a bulletproof strategy in order to take on any situation that might come up. That being said, there are a few general guidelines that you can follow while sniping in order to maximize the effect of you being there. First recommendation is to be crouched. If you're going to be taking a shot, crouch. For one thing, it's going to make your sniper scope sway less, which makes aiming easier and more likely to kill the target. Also, crouching is going to make it much harder for enemies to see you at a distance. This next point is especially important when you're with a squad, is to announce enemy positions to your squad mates. You want to keep it very brief and concise, not getting all rambling like I normally do. And you also want to give some sort of cardinal direction or point of reference so your squad actually knows where you're talking about. Now, when taking shots, it's important to stay relaxed, take your time, and don't fixate on an enemy if you can't kill them. Just find an easier target. And also while shooting, I mean, unless you're a complete and utter badass, you want to go for body shots. Headshots are tricky and generally don't work at really extreme distances. The last thing to cover is finding enemy snipers. This is easily your biggest threat on the battlefield. First of all, you want to check the locations that snipers might be. Think to yourself, if I were an enemy sniper, where would I be hiding? And check those spots every now and then. Now, if another sniper finds you first, take cover, relocate a little, and look in the direction the shot came from, using your damage indicators. And while you're looking, look for irregularities in the terrain, whether it be shapes or colors, so that you might be able to see his head sticking out wherever he's hiding. Alright guys, that's it for the sniper guide. If you liked what you saw, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in Dust.